we can all stand to be a bit more like Chris Bumstead. I truly mean it. Even his videos are good when he documents what he's eating and what he's taking out and what he's doing here and what he's doing there. Simon, the bald a-hole here. Thank you for joining me as always. I appreciate you and I love you more than I love my son. Don't have a son, doesn't exist. Have no children. I don't know why I said it. But if I did have a son, I would want it to be like Chris Bumstead. Now, obviously Chris Bumstead won another Mr Olympia over the weekend. The man is just a force of nature. But he's also, and this is what I want to talk about today, a damn wonderful person. Because there's been a bunch of videos about, 3-time Chris Bumstead. Can he ever be beaten? Best physique ever, blah, blah. And all those videos are cool and all those videos rock. And I was going to make a video like that too because I just wanted to shower praise on the man. But then I saw this video and I thought it opened up a completely different conversation when it comes to Chris Bumstead and kind of ties into some of the stuff that we talk about here on the channel. So I thought, you know what? That's the angle I'm taking. So that's what I'm going to do. And if you are into the Olympia or Chris Bumstead, you've probably already seen it, but I will show it to you again now anyway, because I think it really underlines, no matter what you're involved in, be it bodybuilding or your passion of choice, it's not just about the physical side, which is what a lot of people assume when they see these big hulking guys. It's about the mental side. It's about the emotional side and all the crazy stuff that we all go through.
How's it feel? Third time's a charm.
It doesn't feel any less special than the first one.
Now, for starters, we got to talk about the massive medal, or whatever you want to call it, you get when you win Mr. Olympia. It's almost like people go, well, they're gargantuan people, so we need to give them a gargantuan medal.
Story in my head, if you guys can let me ramble for a second, that's just popping in my head. Like 4 weeks ago, I was in the bathroom crying, honestly sobbing with my girlfriend. Just like, felt like a lot was getting to me. It was a lot of pressure. Felt like things were just kind of hard and tough, and I wanted to just quit.
And there you go. Boom. A man that many people say has the best physique since Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's out there. You can read all the articles. Admitted that he was in the bathroom crying with his girlfriend because the pressure was, I guess you could say too much, but not really, because he was able to fight back and, do the competition. And listen, I totally understand. At this point, he would have been in quote-unquote controlled starvation, so his hormones are going to be all over the place, and trying to contain tears and anything like that is not going to be easy. But it still happened to him. And I would bet 99% of people, maybe not so much anymore in 2021, but at least at some point in this crazy thing we called life, would have looked at someone like Chris Bumstead, and at no point would they have gone, well, I bet he was crying in the bathroom. Of course we wouldn't. Did you ever think that about Ronnie Coleman or Jay Cutler or even Arnold Schwarzenegger? No, you didn't. Because we have this idea that certain people don't go through basic human emotions, but the trick to all of this, or the big secret aha reveal, is that everybody's going through this. 100% of people have gone through that. And okay, sure, maybe you weren't crying in the bathroom, but you will have had your own emotional experience when all of a sudden you felt like, man, I can't do this, I can't continue, even if it's something super small. Let's say you got given a project at work, and you really want to do well at the project, and the deadline is looming, and you don't think what you're doing is any good, even though that just may be you judging it, and actually it's it's a damn good piece of work. But again, that's what we do in our own brains. We are crazy, crazy self-critical. Like every now and then, when I'm allowed to use the footage, the world has changed, I review my wrestling matches, and one of the nicest, I suppose, comments I see is, Simon, you did far better than you think you did. You are way too hard on yourself. Now, there's two ways to look at that as well. On the one hand, it's kind of good to be way too hard on yourself, as long as you're aware you're being too hard on yourself, because it means you're probably going to continue to improve and always have that drive. But on the other hand, yeah, if you do it to too great of a degree, you're just going to send yourself down a sad spiral, and nobody wants to go down a sad spiral, because when you go down a sad spiral, you become a negative Nancy. But when I saw that, in a good way, my heart almost lit up, because not only did he have his down moment, but then he was then able to reverse it and have his up moment. And yes, I am making puns here. Do not worry about it. And he was able to win the Mr. Olympia. And you don't have to have your down moment and then go win a crazy competition that loads of people can know about. It can be, I don't know, let's say you're scared of going outside. It's agoraphobia, I think it's called. And one day you go outside for 2 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever it may be. That's a huge success. That's a pat on the back moment. That's something you should be super proud on yourself, and you can build on that. And I'm sure that's exactly what Chris Bumstead's going to do too.
And I didn't quit. Obviously, we're here today, but this morning after prejudging, I had that same cry in the bathroom, but this one was a cry of gratitude.
How cool is that too? I mean, I'm going to be that guy now. We're going to get hippie trippy on this stuff. I don't even care. But I just like somebody being so, it's true, I know I'm laughing, but it's true, being so open about the fact they had tears. Because we are moving away from this idea that, oh, you're not a big manly man if you don't cry. But you do know we have tears for a reason, right? Tears aren't some alien goo that somebody sneaks in and plants in your head. You're like, oh man, where's it all coming from? And it's not just there for when you're cutting onions. They are there to signify to you. Well, there's loads of different things. We won't get into that. That's not what the video is about. But I think it's massively important to hear this kind of stuff coming from someone like that. And also, we go to sort of both ends of the gambit here. We've heard about the tears for being sad, and we've heard about the tears for being gratitude, and the fact that he was able to work through that. And isn't that kind of crazy as well when you take a step back and think about it? You can cry in your worst moments, and you can cry in your best moments. Point is, don't let this stuff get you down. Actually, no, I changed that straight away. Let this stuff get you down. Let your body and brain do what it wants to do, but work through it. Talk to somebody. Reach out. Understand that you haven't done anything bad. Understand that you're just a human being, and that's the craziness of life. Like today, you may be feeling pretty good, but then you wake up tomorrow and you don't feel very good. And nobody knows that why. I mean, sometimes you do, but trying to find that reason is what's so important so you can get back on track and start being happy again. That's the meaning of life, being happy. That's why it's so crazy, because it's so simple, and yet trying to achieve it can be next to impossible.
And it's these moments, it's this journey, and like I felt this before having the trophy around my neck. It's the journey, it's the experience, it's knowing that you pushed past times where you wanted to quit, and you pushed through it.
My word, I love this man. You can see why. I mean, I would say there are some times when it's okay to quit, right? If you deep down in your bones and deep down in your heart know that you don't want to do something anymore, there's no shame in quitting as long as you're quitting for the right reasons. I mean, try and jump forward 30, 40, 50 years and imagine yourself being a 70-year-old person. You know, are you going to have regrets for quitting? And if you really 100% know, the answer is going to be no, that you're not, because you're doing it, again, for the correct ideals, then you'll be fine. If you have a list of things you want to do in front of you, ticking the boxes is just as important as crossing a line through them, because of course it is. Like, let's just use wrestling, because, you know, I like wrestling. If you want to be a professional wrestler, but you go to wrestling school for 6 months a year, and at the end of that 12-month period, you're like, man, I'm not feeling it, I don't want to do it anymore, and you know that it's not for you, don't do it anymore. You gave it a go, you're never going to regret it because you have that information. However, on the other hand, always push through as well, even through your darkest moments. See where it leads, but never let it overtake you, right? Never let it overwhelm you. And if things do start overwhelming you, maybe you just need a little bit of a break. Doesn't mean you have to quit entirely. You just chill for 5 minutes and then you can get back to it.
Sorry, there's one more thing I want to say. The first 2 times I have ever stepped on stage were with George Peterson, and he was always smiling, he was always humble, he was always grateful, he was always so happy to be here. And I really tried to keep this spirit in my heart this weekend.
And that's how he ends too. We can all stand to be a bit more like Chris Bumstead. I truly mean it. Even his videos are good when he documents what he's eating and what he's taking out and what he's doing here and what he's doing there. And he called his pre-workout Savage because he's got a lisp. That's all I needed to know. I mean, I liked him anyway. But as soon as he came out with his pre-workout, he called it Savage. Because I'm just like, man, you get it. You get it, pal. So, yeah, I saw that video and I thought it'd be nice to share it. Hopefully it inspires you. Hopefully it gives you a little something. It certainly motivated me, to continue doing all the things that I do love to do. But also be kind to yourself as well. That's a nice message to send out of there. Just be kind to yourself. It doesn't matter if you're putting yourself in a super high pressure situation or a situation that's not high pressured. If you're feeling a little bit off, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. And it's always going to be okay, because even in 400 million thousand years, I mean, the human race won't be here anymore, but let's say somehow it was, people will still be going through, we'll call them mental health issues, because that's a term that everybody is familiar with. And all we can really do is try and talk about it more. And all we can really do is try and respect it. And all we can really do is try to understand each other. Like a broken leg, right? There's no real stigma around broken legs anymore, because that guy's got a broken leg. And if we can get there with brains, we're like, oh man, that guy's got a broken brain. But don't worry, they'll be all right soon. It's going to be so much easier to deal with. Now, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Get the bell ding ding so you know when other videos are going live. There is another video on the screen. Please do give it a click. I have teamed up with More Plates, More Dates, Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode. Make sure you use the link in the description and use the code Simon to get a bunch of money off. And there's deals all the time, by the way, which keep an eye on my Instagram at Simon316 and my Twitter at Simon316. And if you use the code, you get those deals as well. Simon.bigcartel.com for merchandise, patreon.com/Simon316. If you want to support me that way, I'm in Greg Doucette's cookbook. Again, check that in the description too. I'm on Cameo. If you'd like a shout out, I just yell into my phone. It's quite fun for me. Hopefully it's fun for you. And I will see you soon.